Hello and welcome to the Doofcast, a film and TV podcast from Doof Media. I am your host, Scott Daly, and joining me as always, I'm slightly in front of him right now, but his tires are warmer, so I think he's got me. It's Matt Freeman. How's it going today, Matt?
My car is made for combat, Scott.
Oh, good. What does that mean?
It's all about the downforce.
Wait, what does that mean?
Oh, we're going to have a fun discussion, aren't we?
This week on the show, we are continuing our series, catching up on the Best Picture nominees for the 2026 Academy Awards. We are on our 6th movie of 10. This week, we're talking all about the surprise nominee of this year's Academy Awards. Nobody saw this coming. It is Apple TV's smash hit, F1, the movie.
Yeah.
So we are going to spend about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes talking all about F1. And then we did want to wrap up the episode talking about episode 3 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Matt and I are both enjoying this show, so we've decided we're just going to keep talking about it until we stop.
Yeah.
We also did have a new thing we wanted to start trying for this show. It's something that if you are fans of our other shows, you will recognize. But we did want to start doing like a discussion question to kind of start throwing stuff to you guys at home a little bit. So we will read the answers for the discussion question at the end of the next episode. But this week, we wanted to just give you the discussion question up front. It's going to make sense, I think, based on the topic of the show. And Matt, what is our inaugural Doofcast discussion question?
Our first one's going to be, what's your favorite sports movie? Oh. And, why? If you're familiar with the other shows, like you said, you'll kind of know the gist, but we don't just want the answer. We want your explanation. Yeah. Try to keep it relatively brief so that if yours is selected, we'll actually read it. But yeah.
And how can they answer that question, Matt, if they want to?
Generally the best way to do it is to answer it on the thread associated with this episode over on the subreddit. So for this episode, there will be a Reddit post at reddit.com/r/doofmedia. You answer the discussion question, what's your favorite sports movie there? And then that makes it really easy for us to grab them. And we typically don't read all of them, especially if we get a lot of answers. We can't read all of them, but we'll sort of select randomly-ish. And then we'll read them, and it just makes it more fun for everybody, I think.
Yeah. And if you, for some reason, absolutely despise Reddit, more power to you. I wish I was with you, but I'm addicted to it. You can also email us at doofmedia@gmail.com. It's harder to compile them when they're all in different places, but since we're starting this out fresh and people aren't used to it, you can go ahead and do it there. You can leave a comment on YouTube or on Spotify, and I'll make sure, Matt, that I get those to you, so you can have the magic pull the correct one.
Sounds good.
All right. I have a feeling, though, as we move into our main segment of the episode, that you, my friend, will not be listing F1 as your favorite sports movie.
It's not particularly close to the top of the list, no.
All right, Matt, what is this movie all about?
A Formula One driver comes out of retirement to mentor and team up with a younger driver.
This movie was written by Joseph Kosinski and Aaron Kruger. It was directed by Joseph Kosinski. It stars Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, and Javier Bardem. All right, Matt, what'd you think? F1, the movie.
Why?
Picking it up from last week.
Yeah. Last week it was more of a confused, but I dare say slightly curious and even optimistic why. Now it's a why of confusion and anger at the 2.5 hour runtime. Really did not need a 2.5 hour runtime. Let me emphasize.
Yeah.
Everything that I've said over previous weeks about not doing that applies in triplicate for this movie, because this was exactly like a down the middle beat sheet following sports movie.
Sure.
It has exactly the same plot as Talladega Nights. except it's a worse movie in every way, and is way longer, and the length does not help. Like when you're watching a sports movie, you're never like, what would make this better if it were slower. It's like, no, you want it to be fast and propulsive and hit you with the emotions, and just very just like unforgivably dragging in certain portions. Like okay, so I talked about beat sheets for a second. Like there are certain beats where it's like, okay, the rookie has gone off the team and now we're going to see what happens, and then that was like 15 minutes. And it's like, no, that's supposed to be a montage, and the montage is supposed to last. It is a
montage. It's just a really long montage.
You're exactly right. It's supposed to be like a 2-minute montage, and it's like a 15-minute montage, and you just tune it out. You're like, nothing is actually happening. I'll stop now, and I'll let you say your piece.
Oh, it's my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
No. I'm with you on this. I did not particularly enjoy this movie. I think it's fine. It's the type of thing where, like, I think you and I would perhaps be having a very different conversation if we had gotten the opportunity to see this movie in the theater. Because I think the racing segments, the actual racing, is like very wonderfully photographed.
Sure.
The entire concept of this movie was, hey, Top Gun Maverick was a smash hit. Joseph Kosinski, good job. Can we do that again? But with different fast things, which is like not a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
It's not a bad idea to make a movie and be like, but we're going to do the type of photography we did with Top Gun, where we're going to make you feel like you're in the plane or the car. It's going to feel really fast. There's going to be a lot of energy behind that. And like, yeah, the races themselves by themselves are some really impressive like work. I think they look cool. I think they work dramatically for the most part. I think everything else in this movie is bad, like really bad. Like Brad Pitt is really bad in this movie. and I like Brad Pitt. I like Brad Pitt. I like young, kind of high energy Brad Pitt, and I love older, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, kind of calmer, older Brad Pitt. I like all the versions of Brad Pitt. He's like a black hole of charisma in this movie. Like he sucks. Like he really sucks. Like he does not bring any energy. He brings nothing to this movie actually, except for I guess his face, so that they can put on the poster.
He brings nothing. There's very little to his character, and he brings nothing extra. The same can be said of Javier Bardem, who, has been one of my favorite actors in recent years, but it's just there's nothing to this character, and you can actually kind of see him trying to bring, like, there are these like little moments where he does a little Javier Bardem face, and I like get excited because I'm like, yes, there's some life in this movie. I remembered I'm a human again, but like there's so few and far between that you're not actually invested. There's a weird, like, it does this thing which I'm gonna call a sports movie thing, which I think is unfair because often, like, it's fine. It's just like there's a lot of ridiculous melodrama that is imposed into the situations where it's like no one in real life would actually be this like been out of shape about this thing that's happening right now. Like human beings can't be this invested about this thing, and you also haven't done the work to convince me that this character cares about this thing this much, right? Like, in fact, even just within the logic of this movie, if we just take this movie in isolation, this character that Brad Pitt is playing, Sonny Hayes, like, nothing that you have told us about his character or shown us about his character would make us think that he would be invested in this for the first, like, 90% of the movie. And then, like, by the end, like, by the final race, it's like, okay, I kind of get what the point of this character is now. Yeah. And so I kind of cared when he does win the final race, but not very much because, again, it's not good structure. It's not just not good story structure. We're not invested in it in the proper flow, and so this is really its greatest sin. You could say is like sports movies are a cheat code formula of a movie because they take something that humans are intrinsically like programmed to care about really easily, which is like an underdog story or just a contest or all of the above, and then you put in good characters and good acting and good music and you make it awesome. And it's just like it failed at the fundamentals of this so badly that I really didn't even care about like the final race that much.
Yeah. I can see that. I think I maybe cared a little bit more than you, but actually another thing annoys me about this movie that I think is along the same line of that is I feel like they picked like 6 different sports movie tropes and they tried to do them all. Like, okay, I think I'm going to use the Pixar film Cars 3 as a comparison point for this movie. And I think it's an apt one because in Cars 3, you have a past his prime racer dealing with the fact that he's past his prime. You have a young hotshot. Well, she's not really. She's a trainer for half the movie, and then it's revealed that she always wanted to be a race car, but never thought she could do it. And like the whole movie is actually about this older guy passing the torch on, right? And the lesson he learns is that, hey, you can't race forever. The new younger people are going to come up and eventually take your place. And like for a lot of this movie, I thought that's what they were doing, right? That like, he never really made it, but he's kind of past his prime, but he can like at least be the mentor, as the IMDb description says. He can teach this kid how to be a winner, learn from my mistakes, be this better person. And I thought that's what the movie was. And to be honest, that's kind of what the movie is. And then we have this dramatic moment in the final race where there's one guy ahead. Our 2 teammates are right next to each other. There's one guy ahead of him. And there's this moment of like, one of them's going to have to try to make the first move, basically guaranteeing that the other one is going to take the lead and win the race. And of course, Brad Pitt says, "Go win this thing, kid." And he does it. Other guy jumps into first place. Hooray, movie over, right? No. No, because then what happens is other kid takes the lead, and then he and the guy he's challenging hit each other and spin out. And so Brad Pitt gets to win.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to, like, that's weird to me. And like, I get the sentiment of like, oh, I'm going to win a million races. I'll let you win one. And to give Brad Pitt his win, I guess. But I didn't think that was the movie we were in, actually. And it's the classic want to have your cake and eat it too. It did both moments. Yeah. It did you go ahead and take and win this one, kid, but then still let him win in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I if I could give notes, I would have gone back to a very specific moment when the rookie doesn't listen to Brad Pitt's instructions and guns it instead of waiting for the turn, and thus flies off the track and explodes in a fireball. Okay, at that moment, this should be a moment where he becomes humbled and realizes, you know, I may be talented, but this guy knows more than I do. This guy has experience.
Yeah.
And I should learn from him. And then it becomes, you know, then it potentially can become the movie that you're talking about, where it's like, yeah, it's tropey. It's a well-worn trope, but it's a well-worn trope because it works. It's very relatable. And that's the moment when the story should have probably transformed to go in that direction. Or you don't do that thing. Because where the movie really lost me, honestly, at that point, because the kid, you know, blows himself up due to his, you know, arrogance, and then he's just a giant dick for like an hour.
Yeah.
And you, by the time he decides to kind of shape up his attitude, I'm just like, you've dug the hole too deep at this point. I'm not capable of turning around this quickly on this character who you've not really endeared him to me. You've not given him even a decent save the cat moment. He just kind of is there.
Yeah.
I know I'm using a lot of like trope language, but it's like, yeah, this is the kind of story that's really amenable to just throwing those trope cards into the pile. And
sure.
Yeah, it just not good functional bones.
Well,
And yeah.
And again, to go back to the have his cake and eat it too thing, like there's two different things you can do with this storyline between these two characters. Like, and the movie kind of does both of them. So like Sonny is this reckless, dangerous driver that like pushes against the edge of both the rules and of safety. That's the kind of driver he is, right? And so you have him doing that, and you have this other character, this Joshua Pierce character, this young, could be great hotshot. And we have that moment you're talking about where he's planned all this stuff. He tells him exactly when to pass, and the kid doesn't like him and is egotistical and arrogant, and so he doesn't listen to him and he crashes. But then the movie kind of is like everyone's blaming Brad Pitt for that,
Right.
blaming Sonny, because they're like, you had him driving recklessly, Sonny. He was driving recklessly because of you, and therefore he crashed. And it's like, well, no. Like, there's even a line in the movie that feels like a studio note or something where you hear a reporter say, I mean, I know he didn't listen to you, but still.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, which do you want? Like, because you could do one of two things. You could have Sonny direct his every movement, and then he crashes. And then it's, Sonny, your recklessness and your dangerous driving almost got this young kid killed, and you need to learn a lesson. Or it's, Sonny was telling him exactly the correct things to do, and the kid refused to listen, and that's why he crashed, and the kid needs to learn a lesson. But they tried to do like both at the same time.
Yeah.
And it really confuses the emotions, I think.
I agree. 100%. Yeah. No further comments. I just think you're right. That's exactly what it is. And the ending has the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly.
And just like, I know, like, okay, movies are commerce and movies are made to make money. I get that. I have a very hard time with this movie essentially just being like a $200 million advertisement for Formula One.
It's funny you say that. I was going to say I'm going to say something that may be stupid. This may be stupid, okay? but I'm like, if you're going to make it be 2.5 hours, could you at least explain Formula One to us?
I was going to say the same thing.
Like,
I feel like I don't understand how the sport works at all.
They're talking, yeah. So they're talking about the tires, and they tell us like, well, the soft tires and the stiff tires and the slick tires and the slippy tire, and I'm like, okay, I get. I think I get why you would want different tires.
We understand the basics of how traction works. Yes,
right.
Yeah.
We understand that. I mentioned downforce in the opening because like basically all these Formula One cars and cars of this nature are like an inverted wing, basically, where they're pushing down against the road, and this is where they get a lot of their traction, which is a very cool and fun idea. But like the movie never mentions this, and I'm not okay. So I'm like, I'm not actually. Am I actually saying that this movie should have gone for a lecture on aerodynamics? No, but you do want to give us a visceral sense of like what matters, and then on top of, so like the worst sin, in my opinion, is like the scoring mechanics, for lack of a better word, where it'll be like, oh, there's a red flag on this one, and we got 1/10 of a second here because of the debris rule, but then the pace car is doing this, and then nope, he got 1 point in the last race, which means he gets to use different tires in the last race.
I love the moment that it tries to say they did bad in qualifying, so their tires are actually better, and I'm like, wait, time out. And the movie even tries to like lampshade this, where someone, as like the mother of the professional race car driver, is like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, okay, yeah, you would probably know that if your son's a Formula One driver. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so much, and like, no shade to the sport. It does seem like it's extremely complicated. It's extremely nuanced. There's thousands of different things, like just mechanically and through physics of the car. Yes, there's like thousands of different things, the driving, the difficulty of that, how it works with like drag and with like riding, like I forget what the term is, but when you're just behind someone, allowing them drafting. Yeah. Thank you. I know Formula One and NASCAR are not the same, but to go back to your Talladega Nights comparison, Talladega Nights does a better job of explaining how NASCAR works, and it's a stupid Will Ferrell comedy. It is And the one thing I've seen about this movie is if you actually are a Formula One fan, it's ridiculous because it's so inaccurate to what Formula One actually is.
I was kind of figuring that must be true when he was doing the thing where he kept intentionally damaging his car to cause the pace car to come out, and I was like, that can't be permitted. There's no way this is like he would get banned for doing that. Anyway.
So like it is weird. I completely agree that like the level of detail they give you were like, and they're really trying. I understand that they're like kind of constantly throwing expository dialogue at us that like explains what is happening in the moment. But I just really struggled with stuff. And like, again, I don't know if you ever saw that. There was a Ron Howard movie with one of the Chris Hemsworth. What was it called again? Oh my God, I'm blanking on it. Racing movie. Rush. It was called Rush. And I love that movie. It's great. It's a Formula One movie about James Hunt, a real Formula One racer. And it does a pretty good job of like explaining how this stuff works and like the difference in the tires and all that stuff. But that was also like Formula One racing in the 1970s, and things have gotten a lot more complicated since then. And it was a very interesting choice to be like, yeah, we're just not going to explain this stuff.
You know, one way to get around this is, I guess I'm going to reference the Mighty Ducks, even though I haven't seen that movie in like 30 years. But like, there's a lot of rules of hockey that Mighty Ducks doesn't explain. Sure. But it makes the dramatic crux of the movie be about a penalty shot, and it does explain how penalty shots work, right? So you set up the thing that's going to matter emotionally and dramatically, and then that's the only thing we really have to understand. And I don't think it was just constantly different crazy things happening. There were just like if you have some level of like world awareness, you can kind of like guess at what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was completely lost, but I was often like, that can't be the way that actually works. That's,
well, and I think from an emotional narrative stakes point of view, like it's okay to explain this stuff as you go, but there has to be a point in the movie where the movie says, go, viewer, I have taught you all you need to know, and everything from this point on will just play in a dramatic sense because you understand the stakes and understand the stuff. But even in that final race, they're still doing stuff, right? Where they're like, oh, red flag, that means 10 minutes while they clear the debris and everyone gets to do this, this, and this. But did all 4 of Sonny's wheels go off the track on that maneuver? Because if it was all 4 of them, he'll be penalized. But if it's 3, and I'm just like, y'all, it's the last race.
Yeah.
At this point, it should just be cargo.
Yeah.
Win? Question mark?
Right. I was thinking about Speed Racer exactly because I was like, the final race of Speed Racer is one where actually we have learned everything we need to learn, and we're just watching like the emotional, wonderful triumph of the moment, and we're not thinking about rules at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think the place the movie went from just boring me to like fully losing me and annoying me is actually like just the totally unnecessary element of, you know, the sleazy board member trying to enact some convoluted scheme that I swear I was paying attention mostly to this movie while watching it. I do not even understand what he was trying. I guess he was trying to oust Javier Bardem, but why he was trying to do that was unclear to me. And how Brad Pitt coming back was, I guess Brad Pitt coming back was a threat to this because it was way unnecessarily complicated for a thing that doesn't matter at all. You don't care.
Yeah. That all the emotional stakes of the thing should be is Brad Pitt or the Joshua Pierce, the rookie character. Are they going to win? That's it. Right. That's it. Everything else, the selling of the team, so yeah, let me try to just explain to you what this plot was, because I think I do understand it, because this is my second time watching this movie, by the way, because I did watch it in December, because I thought there's no way in fuck this movie is ever going to be nominated for Best Picture, so I can safely watch it before we start the series. Oops. So yeah, this character, he's played by Tobias Menzies, who is actually like a very good smarmy asshole character. Like, he's super good at it. But so he is a representative of the board that owns this company, or this racing team, I guess. And if they fail to win a race, there's like a clause in the contract that says he has to sell the team. So like, the reason why Javier Bardem brings in Sonny, and I know you know this part at least, is because the team has sucked for 3 years. They've never won a race, and they're about to be sold. And Javier Bardem wants to keep his team, so he brings in Sonny as a last ditch effort. Sonny, but they haven't won, right? But they're like slowly moving up the ranks, or finishing high in a higher position than they have in the past. And so there's about a buzz being created around them. So Tobias Menzies' character is like using the buzz to generate value and get a higher sale for the team.
I see.
So basically he's betraying Javier Bardem, because he's supposed to be like Javier Bardem's inside man on the board, but he's actually maneuvering and manipulating things. So when Brad Pitt comes in, he raises the level of the team. People can become more interested in it. He raises the value of the team, and Tobias Menzies is like secretly planning to screw them over because it is revealed Tobias Menzies is the one who faked the internal documents that the car was not legal. It's just really funny how they resolve that whole plot line, which is just like, yeah, it turns out they were faked, and they ruled in our favor. Like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do that because he doesn't want them to actually win the race, but they've upped the value. And so hooray. Except they do win the race at the end, which means Javier Bardem gets to keep the team for 3 more years. Hooray. That's the plot.
This would be like if you're watching Top Gun Maverick and they're doing like the actual trench run at the end of the movie, and then that general from the beginning of the movie shows up again for some reason and is like Maverick, if you don't make this shot, you're going to be court-martialed. And then you're like, obviously the stakes have moved past that point. Okay.
The stakes are survival.
Yeah. Well, like that's a loose analogy, but it's like, what? I don't care about this at all. Like, yeah.
And they do this whole thing where like he goes to Brad Pitt on the side and is like, I'm going to sell the team and I want you to be a package part of it, and I'll make you rich and you'll be so rich. And then your legacy will be winning Formula One because you'll be a consultant on the team, or maybe even like a co-manager of the team. And it's like, by that point in the movie, we just know the Sonny character to know he's not going to bite on any of that. So there's no drama there. There's no like, oh, is he going to say yes? And then Matt, my favorite, my favorite point in the whole movie. So Brad Pitt shows up at the last race. He's paid for his own flight to get there, and it's announced that he's going to be there. And the Tobias Menzies character like sees the announcement and like goes like, what? And he walks up to the balcony and like looks down at Brad Pitt down there. And he like gives him a like, what the fuck are you doing here? Look. And instead of like just flicking him off, Brad Pitt says, give me my phone. And then he texts him an emoji of a middle finger because this is an Apple movie.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right. That is why that happened. Oh God.
Because he has to get out his Apple iPhone 17 and text an emoji of a middle finger instead of just doing what any human being in the world would do at that point, which is just flip him the bird. Well,
especially this character.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he literally just, give me my phone. Because it's so stupid.
Oh my God. You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like, I remember watching the movie for the first time when he said, give me my phone, because what I thought was going to happen is he was going to like call him on the phone. Because he's like, I obviously can't have a conversation with you right now because you're 50 feet away up on a balcony. So I'm just going to call you on the phone real quick and just like, oh yeah, by the way, just wanted to say no deal or something like that, which still would have been dumb, but then it's just a text with a middle finger emoji. And I'm like, you couldn't, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
Awful.
So like this movie's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
So speaking of what are we doing? What are we doing?
I guess there were only 9 good movies this year.
No.
I don't know. Is this like a lobbying thing where like Apple was like, you better, use all of their political capital and actual capital to be like, we really need there to be an Apple Best Picture nominee this year?
Yeah. I mean, that's the weird thing is it's this movie made by Apple, one of the richest companies in the world, basically backed by Formula One, which is a huge multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
Yeah.
It's chock full of corporate sponsorship because, like, I think someone in our Discord pointed out that it's like a racing movie is the perfect movie to sneak a bunch of sponsorship into your movie because it's just plastered all over everything in racing already. But now you get to do that in your movie and get a bunch of checks from all those corporate sponsors that appear in your movie. Brad Pitt was paid $30 million to do this movie. It's the largest paycheck of his career. And it's like, it does feel a little icky at the end of the day that like now this is the surprise Best Picture nominee. And look, I'm not going to say that they have not like done it seems like ever since they increased the nominees to guaranteed 10 every year, they're always going to put like a blockbuster hit in that category. Like that's why Wicked got in last year, right? That's why the Avatar movies have got in the past. Like there have been this like there's always like a blockbuster movie slot on the list of 10. And this movie did do well at the box office, by the way. This was a success. It was, I think it made looks like $631 million worldwide. So it did pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
But it just feels weird. I don't understand. And I guess like from a filmmaking perspective, like from a stunts perspective, from a special effects perspective, yeah, hell yeah. Like the below the line stuff, I would not at all be surprised to see this movie there and do well in an awards situation. But as like a movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I agree. It seems a little fake. It seems like somebody needed this to be on the list, and so it's on the list, and it's not. Yeah. It's just clearly not that good. Like the story is bad. It's overlong. It's boring. I think I'd almost like it. No, not almost. Like I would definitely like it more if it had a bunch of lower tier actors, and if it were an hour shorter. Like that could actually be a fantastic movie. Shoot it with the same level of, attention to detail and.
Yeah, it was great. They made custom cameras to mount them to the cars. Like it looks really impressive. I really like all of that. Now I will say it's always going to feel a little bit more impressive what they did on Top Gun to me because like I don't know, airplane more complicated than car, right?
Yeah.
At least to shoot.
A cool thing about cars, though, is like we all have kind of experience with cars, and because the car is so close to the ground, you actually really can feel the sense of speed. Whereas in a jet, the only way you can really feel the sense of speed is if you're flying through a ravine, which is why they do that.
Touché.
So, like, it's definitely impressive. It's visceral. It's impressive. It's cool. It's fun. All that stuff. It's just also all the bad stuff we talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I really do like sports movies. Like I am a sucker for sports movies. I'm a sucker for racing movies. Like I said, I liked that movie Rush, which is probably not like a great movie objectively, but I like sports movies. You're right. It is kind of a cheat code. It is like it's built-in drama. It's built-in stakes. You could do head-to-head competitions in a really weird way to building in conflict. It's just a really good formula for very, very dramatic and fun visual storytelling.
Exactly.
And so I'm here for them. And like I did like enjoy those parts of this movie, like for sure. I think probably a little bit more than you, it seems. But there's no 2 hours and 35 minutes. There's no reason. There's no reason for that. Absolutely. Right, like even Top Gun Maverick was shorter than that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't know how this happens, honestly. I don't know. I mean, they know at this point in time,
yeah,
that nobody wants to watch a movie that long.
Yeah,
don't they? I'm right about this. I mean, nobody wants to watch a movie that long. Everyone complains about it.
Yeah,
and it's not like shorter movie means you have to film less, which means you spend less money.
No way. You have to spend $200 million on every blockbuster movie. Did you not know that?
I mean, I feel like I continue to believe that this is all money laundering. Where it's just like we've got to somehow quote unquote spend all this money, which means we like move it around. You know, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm so confused.
Yeah. You know what could save some time in the movie? Let's cut out this love story portion of the film, which did not work for me at all. Yeah,
I mean, it is a time-honored, trope. So
sure, well, they're checking the boxes. Yeah.
I don't blame them for trying. Right? It's just like, it doesn't work very well because Brad Pitt is a black hole of nega charisma, like you said.
I don't believe this woman would like him outside of he looks like Brad Pitt, which is he's a very good looking man. And she is, I don't know how much younger I don't know. Carrie Condon is the actress who plays this woman. I don't know like how much in real life younger than Brad Pitt she is, but the way they set it up in the movie is he's like the grizzled old man. She's very young. And I'm not saying I have like anything specifically against like age gaps in relationships, but it does feel a little weird in this movie to me.
Yeah. I mean, it just felt weird in the specific way that it felt forced.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't get what they see in each other except like she's hot and he's hot,
Mm-hmm.
That's so whatever.
Well, don't you see he did win the game of poker, but he let the other guy win. And so now she loves him.
What is that? What? I mean, even in that moment, I was like, okay, what was the lesson here? Never mind. I don't. It's too stupid. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to even figure out.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't care. That is the greatest sin. Is I just don't care.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I could continue talking about this for 20 more minutes if we wanted to. Like, I think the Joshua Pierce character is a mess. I can't. It's like they can't decide what they want him to be. Like we already kind of talked about this, but like he's the new kid, supposed to be really good, getting swept up in all the extra stuff. But like, and so the wise old man is here to impart wisdom on him. But like the wise old man is a fucking mess who fucked his life up. So like, why is he the one imparting wisdom? None of this makes sense.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's F1.
That's F1.
You know what the thing is? The thing is, and I want to say it has nothing to do with this movie at all. I do kind of want to get into Formula One as like a observer of the sport because I do think it'd probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really a NASCAR guy. And maybe that's just because of the negative like Southern associations with NASCAR, but I feel like Formula One. Here's the logic in my head. In NASCAR, the track is just a big circle. In Formula One, it does other things too, and therefore is better. And I should like it more.
It's true. Well, it's more dynamic. There's more possibilities for things to happen, and I also like how. They're both very high tech at this point in time, but I feel like
the science of it is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The Formula One though is high tech in kind of a different way that seems more enticing to me personally.
Yeah. I like that thing that they went up on the straightaways to do more less air resistance. I forget what it was called, but it just mean cargo faster. That was the one thing that I think they did a good job of explaining, because they didn't go into detail on what that meant, but it's just like put thing up, less air resistant, cargo fast.
Yeah.
I think one thing that, like, I don't know, like, there's like pushing through air takes so much energy, right? That's one thing. I think I saw a once again, I'm going to talk about Hank Green on this podcast, but I think I saw a Hank Green video where he's talking about electric cars and why I think the Ford F-150 Lightning, the electric car, failed. And it's just because people like driving fast on highways, and the amount of energy it takes to push a car at higher speeds is like exponentially higher than at lower speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes like going from like 50 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour is like a huge increase in the amount of energy needed, because there's a fuck ton of air, Matt. We're just swimming through air all the time. So yeah, like the idea that these cars are like going 200 miles an hour and having to slice through all this air, like how much energy that would take. That's cool. That's cool. And I kind of wish the movie had taken a little bit more time for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to mention downforce for a third time, because like you actually would not be able to have enough traction to maneuver at those speeds if you didn't have the actual, inverse lift of a wing pushing you super hard down against the ground, which is a function, the lift of the wing is a function of the speed of the car. So it's extremely important, actually. Like it's not just like, oh, it's kind of a nice, it's like, no, this is vital for the functioning of these cars, actually. The aerodynamics is not just like, oh yeah, we're trying to make them aerodynamic so they go fast. It's like, no, we're trying to make them like an airfoil so that they're shoved against the ground, so their giant tires can stick harder, so that they can spin faster without losing traction. It's awesome.
That's really cool. I wish the movie had told us about that.
Exactly.
Anything else you got on F1?
Nope.
Why was Brad Pitt's, was it just like we said, he got the highest paid check? Was it just the script did him no favors, or did he just not give a shit on a movie like this?
I feel like he didn't give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't do anything interesting with it. It's very boring.
Yeah. I agree. It is. He's boring. He sucks. Yeah. One of the most charismatic actors in the world. No charisma.
Yeah.
None.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it really is. Disappointing movie. Disappointing that it got a slot in the top 10 movies of the year, according to the Academy Awards. Definitely will not win, but very silly. This is the type of thing that makes these awards seem silly, I think. And it's like they're trying to be more like in tune with the people. And like, look, this movie made a lot of money. So look, we're also honoring the movies that made a lot of money. It's like, but there's a lot of better movies that made a lot of money that came out this year.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that was F1. Did you like it more or less than Wicked?
Good question. Possibly more than Wicked.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, the Wicked heads are not gonna like that.
Yeah. Oh well.
Doof. All right, Matt. Let's move on to our second segment of the week. Let's talk about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 3. So, this is a pretty big spoilery one. So, if you haven't watched episode 3 of the show, I would suggest you do that before you tune into this conversation. So, Matt. Egg.
Yay.
Egg. So I honestly, like, I think I knew this, and I was so confident that I knew it that when we talked about it last week, I kind of specifically didn't mention it because I felt like it would be a spoiler. That's how confident I was in remembering it. Because there's like a line in both the books and in the show where Maester Aemon mentions egg.
Right.
And I thought I remembered that. But he's a Targaryen.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
He's Aemon Targaryen's brother. actually.
Yeah. Aegon.
Um, Aegon.
What are the Aegons? They got so fucking names. Fucking Targaryens, their names. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you like consulted the heraldry and whatever, you could figure out, which one he is, but it doesn't really matter for the sake of this show. Obviously, it's just like, okay, he's a Targaryen. He's one of the royal family. I love, like, this is a great episode though, because it starts out with him. He's a little boy. He just wants to be a squire. He's very sweet. He's very naive. He's just totally lovable. From just a script point of view, and also the actor brings a ton of just purity and innocence and delight to this character.
Yeah.
And you love little boy. You love his relationship with Duncan, who I love this recurring beat that, like, Duncan will sort of reflexively be harsh, but then he'll think twice. He'll think better of it, and then he'll be kind and be a good mentor, because it's like he's acting out of the way he was sort of trained, but then he's just this big, sweet, lovable oaf of a guy, and so he always does the right thing. And yeah, they just have this wonderful day together. And then it ends with this moment. This sort of comes out of nowhere, a shocking moment. I totally knew this was coming because knowing the story, but I do wonder how, like, I feel like the way they shot it was meant to be very, like, abrupt and, like, just sort of out of nowhere. Suddenly this, after this wonderful day where only good things have happened, basically, just like very abrupt and shocking ending. I wonder how that worked on you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I knew he was a Targaryen. Like, this thing is, I had this thing that I knew in the back of my head, and then there is a shot, I think in episode 1 or 2, where, like, they mention the Targaryens are coming, and, like, the camera cuts to Egg with this look of concern on his face, and, like, there's plenty of different ways to read that, but knowing what I had in the back of my head, it was like, oh, I think the show just confirmed what I thought I knew. So, like, it wasn't a huge moment of surprise for me. I kind of, like, as we saw Dunk get into it, I was like, oh, this is we're gonna do this now. But I loved it. I loved the moment. I agree with you. I loved the episode. It's like these are 30-minute episodes, and yet we squeeze so much of the stuff that you think they would cut into them, because, like, the first 15 minutes of this episode are just Dunk and Egg, like, hanging out. Like, there's a whole part where they, like, make sandwiches. And then eat the sandwiches. And that's just, like, the two of them hanging out, growing closer together, watching their relationship grow and strengthen. And it's great. And I love it. So I like it is this really important thing the show seemed to realize it needed to do before it throws back the curtain and reveals this thing about Egg that is going to change Dunk's relationship with him. Of course it is. This is this thing he didn't know about him, and suddenly it changes how he looks at him. It changes how he feels about him, because simultaneously, while this is happening, we are having Dunk's basic, like, disillusionment of knighthood, of chivalry, of all these things that he vehemently believes in, and he's seeing the way these people behave, and he's shocked by it. And at the same time, the guy who he has just learned to hate is revealed to be the brother of his squire.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of projection that I'm doing because I know exactly where everything is going. But, like, in this moment where we spent this whole episode learned, like coming to love this relationship between these two characters. And then you basically say, well, this totally changes everything. And there's no way, there's no way that this Targaryen princeling can be the squire of this hedge knight. Like, that's just, so all the earlier parts of the episode where, Egg was basically begging him to get to be his squire. It's like, well, that can't possibly happen now. So very dramatic, very good execution of the story, which is already a great story, but they're doing it right. It's really good.
I agree. I loved the moment with what is his name? Arion is the asshole prince that kills the horse.
I think so.
I loved that whole thing because it's just like, yes, it's like another fucking Targaryen. We know that very well. But I Dunk's reaction to it, like, Dunk sees it, right? Like, he says his lance is too low. Like, he can tell. But for him, the idea that he would have done that intentionally is just not what he understands about either a knight or a prince, right? Like, I love the moments where he's like, a prince would never do that. Why not? What do you mean? And just like this kind of, we talked about this last week, like the charming social ignorance that he has is just coming up against the truth of so many different things.
Right.
And I'm really committed to that. I'm really committed to him as a character. I did really also love the moment where the guy comes to him with the plan to fix the match. And it's really great because he comes to Dunk not asking him to take a fall in the match, like lose on purpose and we'll make sure you're richly rewarded. He's like, no, we're going to let you win. We're going to let you win and you'll be richly rewarded for that.
Yeah.
And like, of course Dunk can't do that, but it's really, really, really great stuff.
Right. It's funny. I don't actually remember where or when the match fixing thing comes in. I don't think this was actually in the book. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually know what they're doing with this. So my impression was actually just like we warm you up to the idea of like you're in a match fixing situation, but don't worry about it. You're going to win anyway, which is what you were going to do anyway. So it's fine. Yeah. But then on the next round, maybe we'll ask you to do something a little more specific.
Sure.
And then maybe on the third round, maybe we need you to take a fall. And then it's like we sort of boiled the frog. I don't actually know any of this. I just that this kind of seems like what you would do, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, even if that's not the specific plan, like once you've kind of thrown your hat in with this type of thing, like they have you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's great to see him just turn that down. I really liked it. I really like what they're doing. And just to say, like, there's all this backgrounded stuff happening in the show that, like, the Blackfire Rebellion has just ended. It's not something that the show really focuses on, but if you're like a Game of Thrones nerd, you know what that was. You know the history with the Targaryens. You know the Targaryens are in the situation right now where they don't have dragons anymore. And maybe their kind of grip on the realm is starting to loosen a little bit. Like, just like you have a character who sits in a tent and like talks mad shit about like these scary people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in an old version of would have dragons and just roast you the fuck alive. Like even the moment where he kills the horse and the crowd's reaction is to lose their shit and try to kill him. And it's like, that would not happen if he was riding on a dragon instead of a horse. Right.
Right. Yeah. That's a fantastic point. Yeah. I was kind of caught off guard by the, Fossaway, I guess, being super racist against Targaryens, because I just forgot. Like, I actually didn't totally forget, but just like I wasn't thinking about the fact that, like, oh yeah, these are Targaryens, but they don't have dragons anymore, because that's a wrinkle in the history that's easy to forget, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's 90 years from when Game of Thrones starts, but which makes it like 70 years or less from Robert's Rebellion, right? And so like we can start to draw the line from these people to when the people of Westeros finally say, no, fuck these guys, we're done, actually. So yeah, I think it's cool. And what I like about it is it's backgrounded by the show, and us nerds can get a kick out of it, but it is not the core emotional and thematic through line of the show. That is Sir Duncan the Tall and his relationship with Egg, and watching their characters go through this.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about the show.
Me too. It knows exactly where to keep its attention focused.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think by the time people are listening to this, actually, Matt, episode 4 will be released, because they are releasing it on Friday at midnight because of the Super Bowl this weekend. So it's not coming out Wednesday. So I plan to watch it tomorrow. I guess you will too. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
Isn't it wild that this entire season of this television show will be shorter than the movie F1? I don't think that's actually true, but it's closer than it should be.
Yeah, that's you're right. I don't think that's true, but that's terrifying. Yeah, that's amazing.
All right. I think that's all. You anything else you wanted to say?
Nope.
Anything else?
Not at all. Let's wrap it up.
Cool. All right. That's all we had for you folks this week. Please remember our discussion question. What is your favorite sports movie? And if it is F1, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Please let us know. As Matt said, the best place to answer that question is over on our subreddit. That's reddit.com/r/doofmedia. But you can also email us, doofmedia@gmail.com. You can send us a message on Instagram @doofmedia. You can also leave a comment on YouTube or on Spotify.
Yeah. If you're not subscribed to the Doofcast, we encourage you to do so and ensure you never miss an episode. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere else podcasts can be found.
And if you like what we do here and want to support us, please consider becoming a patron of Doof Media. You can head on over to patreon.com/doofmedia. If you pledge at any of the monetary levels, there are a bunch of bonus things, including the return of the bros. The Freeman Bros are back.
Talking about coffee shops.
Yeah.
I think this was not Scott's favorite episode, but we had a good talk.
I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it very much because you were talking about a coffee shop in College Station that I have been to multiple times and am not quite as enamored by as the two of you apparently were.
We should have another episode where we have you on and we just try to convince you that it's the best coffee shop.
We should all go to Sweet Eugene's and record the episode there.
It's a great idea.
See where this leads us.
Fantastic.
But yeah, that episode is available right now on our Patreon, as well as a bunch of other Freeman Bros where Matt and his brother talk about mostly like science stuff, but sometimes coffee shops too. We also have our podcast 2, which is going through the series From an episode at a time. We are just about getting to the end of season 2 of that. I think we'll have a new episode of that pretty soon. And it was just announced, Matt, season 4, April 19th. So I don't think we're going to quite make it there, but it's coming. Season
awesome.
4.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. We will definitely cover it eventually, and that'll all be over at the Patreon.
Yep. Also, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Each review helps us get more exposure and introduces new people to the content that we make here.
All right, Matt, as we wrap up the episode, we have to pick a movie for next week, and a cool thing has happened. We have 4 movies left to cover before the Academy Awards, and 3 of them are available to rent on streaming right now. And the other, Marty Supreme, will be available next Tuesday. So basically, I'm leaving this up to you, Matt. What of these 4 movies do you want to cover next week?
Well, I think I'm going to pick Hamnet. And the reason is I keep hearing good stuff about it from people whose taste I trust, and I want to watch it.
All right. Well, there we go. Next week's episode will be on Hamnet, which I believe is available to rent or purchase on streaming right now. So if you want to watch that movie and then join us next week, that'll be great. But we'll see you then. Don't forget that discussion question.
That's right.
See you then.
My name is Doof, and you'll do what I say. My name is Doof, and you'll do what I say.